one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Mays.
Here.
Nickie.
Here.
Sarah.
Here.
Paul.
Here.
Bradford.
Here.
Robertson.
Here.
Page.
Here.
Lemmings.
Here.
Bass.
Here.
Okay. Next up on the agenda items, we have several things we need to cover. I will voice vote them, then we'll roll call the entirety of the changes. So first of all, we have a lot of ordinances that are really detailed, and there's just a lot of line items and funds and numbers, and we can describe those from a 20,000 foot view a whole lot easier than we can read the entirety of those. So I would entertain the motion to entertain our ordinances tonight by title only.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a multitude of seconds to entertain the ordinances tonight by title only. Any discussion? All in favor of that change signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Also, I would entertain a motion to dispense with the audible reading of the transfers.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to dispense with the audible reading of the transfers. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? And we do have one additional ordinance. I would entertain a motion to include that additional ordinance in our package.
So moved. Second.
Motion is second to entertain the additional ordinance. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All three of those changes are part of the agenda now, and we need to approve the agenda, including those changes.
It's minor, but on D of the agenda, I would move that we amend that to say operating budget for calendar year of 2026.
Oh, somebody put 25.
Oh, that was
Awesome. Okay, so we have a motion to change the letter D from calendar year 2025 to 2026. Do I hear a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to make that change. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Now I would entertain a motion to accept all those changes in a new agenda.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second to entertain the agenda as amended. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Mays.
Yes.
Nickie.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
Page.
Yes.
Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes and financials.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to entertain the minutes or to approve the minutes and financials. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Very good. County judge's comments next month. Put this on make an alert on your phone. Before the Quorum Court meeting, we're going to meet at 5 o'clock down at the library, and we're going to have some snacks and some goodies, and we are going to have a note burning. We are paying off the library, so let's go celebrate.
All right.
It's going to be on January 15th at 5 p.m. at the library.
My birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
And birthday cake.
And that's all I have. Up next, are there any county committees or elected officials to address the court or court? Do you have any questions for any department heads or officials that are here? That takes us right along to new business, and our first ordinance is sponsored by Nickie Brown.
To clarify, are we doing all ordinances by title only? Is that what we vote? Or just?
That's the way we,
Okay,
yep,
okay.
unless you choose to read it.
Okay, no, we can just address questions with me. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an appropriation ordinance to amend the original appropriation ordinance 2024-54, the annual operating budget for 2025, to appropriate $24,493.69 into the 911 fund number 3020. I move we approve as written.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt this ordinance. Any discussion?
I would like to note that it's written in the body of the ordinance. The funds have accumulated funds to pay accumulated holiday and compensatory time for the 911 department. The funds are available for appropriation. So this is not an addition of funds being added. So I just want to clarify that.
Good. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Mays.
Yes.
Nickie.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
Page.
Yes.
Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
O 2025-44.
Thank you. Nikki, you have our next ordinance as well.
Okay. Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an emergency ordinance to be entitled, an emergency ordinance updating the distribution of administration of justice funds pursuant to Act 371 of 2025. I move we approve as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance. This ordinance, Act 317 of 2025, made changes to the state district courts and to the funding. This just needs to be run as an ordinance each year instead of just, it's a transparency rule.
And my understanding is that it did not change the distribution.
There are zero
percentage.
changes. Zero changes. Any further questions or discussion? Roll call vote.
Mays.
Yes.
Nickie.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
Page.
Yes.
Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass. O 2025-45.
Okay, this one has an emergency clause on it, so I would entertain a motion to acknowledge that clause.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a couple of seconds to acknowledge that emergency clause. The reason it's on here is because this needs to take effect immediately. Any discussion on the emergency clause? All in favor of acknowledging that, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Our next ordinance is sponsored by Sarah Brown.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to transfer monies within personnel services in certain budgets to distribute payouts to county employees who waived county-provided insurance for the year of 2025. Make a motion to approve as written for the sake of discussion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt this ordinance for the sake of discussion. Discussion.
I just have some questions on the actual amount. I went back and reviewed the March meeting of this year to see what that was about, and it's my understanding that was about one employee that we needed to pay out. So I guess my question is, how did you get these amounts to pay to the employees?
Oh, those amounts are from the insurance company.
Okay, how did you... It's my understanding that one employee got one amount, another one got another amount. So I'm wondering...
Well, some of them are different because some have dental and vision and not health, and then some have some doesn't have any dental, vision, or health. So that would be different.
What we need to do... In the March meeting, we talked about coming back to this to establish a set amount. What we need to do is establish that amount, and then whatever the 75% of that amount is what they'll need to be paid.
So if you look at it, if they have, it kind of looks to me like if they have, kind of deducing it from, I think solid waste maybe had one employee. I saw the county judge's budget, but I think that's a half thing, so that's always weird.
Yeah.
So going to solid waste, it was 2620. So that makes me think if I add 25% to it, that probably a total payout is 3275. Does that sound, if they're carrying everything?
I don't have the notes here with me that I used. Here's the payouts there. I think Lee typed that up.
So what this has is health insurance payout, and it takes monthly what we pay the insurance company times 12. It gives a total. It's broken down into health, dental, and vision, and then 75% of it. So Sarah, I wonder if it could be amended for this to be attached and payouts to be done appropriately. You know, if you don't have dental, kind of pass that around. To me, that.
Is that how you calculated it then?
Yeah. What was passed before didn't say just health, so we've been doing health, dental, and vision. 75% of all. So if someone doesn't have health or health or dental or any of it, then we'll pay them 75% of all of it. If they just don't have health, then we pay them 75% of just the health.
So if you don't carry, let's say, the vision, but you're not going to, so some people, what you're saying is they don't cover the health, but if they're not getting any of it, am I thinking of that wrong? Okay. So some people get one piece of it, but they don't get the other pieces. Is that what you're saying?
Some will carry our dental and vision and not the health.
Okay. So in that case, they would get reimbursed the 75% of health, but not
dental and vision. Yeah.
So my question is, if my memory serves right, each employee was costing us about $10,000 a year, $10,200 a year for insurance. Is that correct?
So before, we paid that amount of a check to the insurance company for each employee. When we changed our insurance, it became a thing where we paid a certain amount, $278 or something, and then the rest was forecasted and put in an individual account that we had. So if things went over, we paid out of that account, but what we were technically paying the insurance company was that premium of, Pam would know that, $278 or something like that, and then additional for health and vision. You had an employee leave, and we had to figure out what we were going to do. And it was at that time, my recollection, that we decided that we would pay what the 75% of the actual premiums paid to the company, and that was a one-off thing because they were leaving and we had to pay, and then we were going to revisit it, and I don't think that we ever actually did. But the difference, I believe, in that decision was no longer did we pay monthly, and I don't know that we paid it monthly, but a check for the $10,000. So we could get by with an employee paying and Pam, please correct me if I'm wrong. It's possible that we have an employee that we pay whatever the number is on that $300 a month for their premium now. That's kind of my understanding. If they don't go over and we have to pay extra out of the fund.
So back when the budget meetings, when we were talking about the cleaning lady, I thought that it was mentioned that it would cost us.
We budget that amount as a combination of the premium and the projection.
I think what you're talking about, we have to, in each budget, in each office, we have to budget I think it's $10,000 and something a year, but we actually pay to the insurance company $257.76 a month per employee. The rest of that, the county keeps and puts in a separate account to pay claims of people that are on the insurance.
Well, that just for me, at 75%, it's not hard to figure out. That's $7,500 or $10,000, and so.
And it was only with that change of insurance that we made that decision And so that's kind of where we are. The discussions that have been had so far.
So the next question, why is Social Security and stuff taken out of it? Because of the people who you pay insurance on, and Social Security is not taken out of it. So why do they have Social Security pulled out?
Yes, they have to because it's considered income.
Okay. I was just seeing those things and I was curious. So
But we don't have to take retirement out, but we do have to take payroll taxes
Okay,
out.
gotcha.
So according to the handbook, it says that we pay 75% of the premium amount. So does that need to be worded in a way, whether you take the dental and the vision, and do we need to specify that?
Well, I mean, I think that if they're getting all three, their total premium is 1 plus, the three together, and that's 75. I mean, maybe it needs to be clarified, but in a way,
But it's for the people that aren't taking advantage of the, correct?
it is. But the problem where it's getting shady, not shady, but where it's getting whatever. Didn't mean shady.
Yeah, don't say that.
Back that up, remove that from the tape. They have the option to not, so I don't want the health insurance, but I want the vision.
Right.
So I'm not gonna get the vision and get 75% of
Right.
that paid back.
I'm just wondering for the.
Yeah, but no, I get it, because that's where, because I never thought about someone getting vision and not getting it. I thought of it as a group.
Well, we wouldn't let that happen on purpose anyway,
Yeah.
but it would never hurt to make it more plain in there.
So what do we need to do? Need some guidance here.
I think that's a question.
Personnel policy meeting.
Yeah,
Carol
so
finally gets to speak at a
where
quorum
you,
court
that's
meeting.
right. So where you say 75% cash payout for the cost of the premium, maybe there needs to be, maybe it needs to define both scenarios, whether the premium for whatever it is that they are opting out of, foregoing. So, because apparently that's different for different people, whether or not they just opt out of health or also opt out of dental and vision. So they'll be higher in that second, right?
Was dental and vision included into one, or is it two separate?
So it's separate. So listed on that sheet, she has a premium for each, and apparently they can opt in. And so where the issue, because Becky asked the question, kind of where the issue is coming in. So the issue is coming in that we dealt with this in a swift manner when someone left right after we did the plan. We redid the plan. I can understand it in the way that we have spoke about it ever since. We have always, because we wanted to make sure it was covered in the budget, referred to it as $10,000 basically. When we changed plans, the big change, and I'm not an expert on this, but basically what we were required to pay the insurance company, where before that whole thing went to them. Now that premium's a lot lower.
Right.
The rest goes in the bank. And so I can see where, people before were getting $7,500
Right,
payout. Now that's a lot lower.
right.
'Cause
I do
it's-
remember it going to be a lot lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is
so
this paid out once a year, or is it paid out monthly in their, in their check?
At
It-
the end of the year.
Really,
And that's what the policy says. The personal policy says that. When is this eligible to change the numbers with the insurance company?
Insurance. That's a question for you, I think.
Annually.
Annually, so beginning calendar year?
Correct.
Okay, so you could amend this well, this is for 2025 though. This is the ordinance is looking back for this current year, yeah. And so,
Next year, we have to need to clarify.
yeah, so what part of 2026, what could it change? Could the numbers fluctuate? We paid out the end of the year.
Those should be
That's all
set.
that matters. So I guess you could amend this if you wanted to be You can either attach this, I think you have two ways. You can attach this, I guess for the purposes of the record, it lists health insurance payout, it lists the amount of health, so $257.76 times 12 for $3,093.12. And then the math is done onto the side of that 75% is $23.19.84. And so dental, 28.44 times 12 equals 34.28. 75% is $255.96. Vision's $5 times 12 is 60. 75% is 45. So if an employee opted out of all three of those, you're talking about $2,620. So I guess you could either say we want to attach for the purposes of this year because you're about to pay these out in December.
Well, we have.
You have
We
already-
had to end up paying them before this quorum court, so they've already been paid out.
Well, and that was why I wanted the discussion, because I think that the numbers are going to be wrong. I think.
That was paid out.
I'm not 100% sure, but based on what I saw, it looked like it might be.
And then I guess in January, when they change, we could pass a new one, attach it, and that way everybody will know going.
Then all the employees know for the whole calendar year what it is.
This number right
And
here.
then Pam knows too for cutting the checks.
Yes.
So this amount right here will go up in January.
Do we know what our premiums are gonna be next year yet?
Yes, that was,
I don't have it with me though.
I don't have it.
We could do it next month.
Yeah.
We'll have them
And
for next
hopefully
month.
they're gonna be here to talk to us next month.
Mhm, They will. They'll be here in January.
They can come to the library.
I don't know.
That's right.
Sarah, do you have numbers that are different than these?
Well, I don't know Emma, what was the amount of your check?
If you don't mind, would you care to come up to the microphone?
So do you,
And it's right over there this time. We've got a camera on it and a microphone with it.
The gross is 2319.84.
1984, and you have dental and vision, right?
Yes.
Is that right? Okay.
23,1984.
Yes.
So that's accurate with this. If she has dental and vision, right?
Okay. Yeah. So
That's
we
just
would
health.
just pay her 75% of the medical.
Which is 23,1984, according to this that I've been given. Okay.
But this says, that's where I'm wondering where the discrepancy on the assessor's office, 3193.44.
On section 2,
Anybody else in her office that have?
Yeah. Is there anyone else that gets a payout?
Yes, there's another person.
Oh, Shannon
Yes.
Smith. The last one I hired gets it.
No, I can't remember right offhand if she has.
So that person, it doesn't look like she probably carries the insurance and maybe does with the amount given, because, if you double it, it's 43. So since it's 31.
Well, hers wouldn't be all year.
It's
When
prorated.
did you
Okay,
hire
so
her?
She was hired, okay.
I just wanted to make sure that the actual amounts match what this says. Were there any other discrepancies? Dale, what was your check amount? Or is it correct in this?
I think it would have been correct with these numbers
Okay.
because they're, yeah.
So just to be clear, on the 75, or the part that we have to put into savings, since you don't have to put that in for me, we don't get any part of that back.
That is what we had discussed when we made that decision on the employee that we paid out. That was the discussion that we had, that it was going to be based on, the handbook said premium. And I think that we went through all that, and that was the decision that was made at the time, based on the new premium. That's my understanding. I do acknowledge when it's being, that we said that we might revisit it, but that was the how we rationalized what the 75% was gonna be paid. The handbook said the premium, it was explained that was the premium that we require to pay. Is that correct, Pam? That's the premium we pay to the insurance company, the $258?
Yeah, in order to change that, we would have to change the handbook. I think that's what we fell back on, was the handbook.
Yeah.
So the county package isn't 10,000. Like when we hire someone, that's actually not accurate.
That is a combination of, it used to be the check was written for that amount. Now that is a combination of the premium and what is projected that it might cost to carry an employee. That goes into our saving. And again, that's why I wish that they were here, because I'm not. But my understanding is that helps to cover the claims. In theory, if Sarah was on the insurance, she may end up taking part of what is projected for you to cover hers. You see what I'm saying? That pot is not attributed to a certain person, where that monthly premium is.
Right. So that brings up a question I had, because, I'm kind of learning here too. So I guess the personnel policy states, like, if I'm a new employee coming to work for the county, and the handbook or whatever is saying $10,000 is covered, or covers your health insurance that you don't pay out of pocket if you sign up for health insurance.
Yeah, if you don't take it, well, how it's actually worded is 75% of the premium.
Okay.
So say the premium went down or up or whatever that was, 75% of the premium.
Okay. The way I'm trying to think about this in my mind is, does it need to be reworded? Because do we have employees thinking this is it is an incentive to have your health insurance paid, absolutely.
Right.
But are we not signing up hoping to get a big bonus check at the end of the year? Or is that check supposed to be used for health insurance? I'm just trying
I get exactly. And I think for a long time
because it was a lot more.
Right, yeah, it was a lot more.
before
And I think that,
From what?
I'm not going to speak for them, but I do think that some people used it to cover their health and insurance outside. Others used it for whatever it was, and it was intended to be an incentive. I think when it was passed, I wasn't here when it was passed. I think on the flip side of that, in trying to manage the expense of insurance, which just keeps growing,
Right.
and trying to manage the overall budget, that was the reason for trying the new insurance. And that is a piece of it as a budgetary element. But I do understand that's a big difference, and I understand that.
Because you actually don't have to put that money in the pot for me.
Again, they're supposed to be here, and I don't want to say things that
No,
I mean,
it's not. It's
my
in-
understanding is monthly we pay a premium for a position, and that is allotted directly to you. We put in a pool of money to pay payments. That payment of that pool could go to her, him, whatever. So it's not directly related. Your premium is the $258, plus if you're carrying dental and vision.
Right. No, it just wasn't in my budget, and I asked Pam about it because everyone else is in there at, was it 8,000? No, 11,238 for all of my employees, and mine's 2,892.
Yeah, and normally I put how much is it, 11,000 in for every employee, no matter if they take the insurance or not, because an employee may leave and somebody else will come wanting our insurance. But I didn't figure you'd be leaving, so I didn't put the whole amount in there.
Okay, so I see so Pam, you put that in there because that would be her payout,
That's her payout, yes.
and you put 11,236 because our insurance actually went up. So that's a projection. So but the actual premium for, let's say, an administrative assistant is $258 times 12 for just the health, right? So what Emma's is, but
Yeah, it's 257.76. But we have to, like I said, we have to put the whole thing in there. So if you have an employee that wants the insurance, then we'll pay theirs each month to the insurance company, the 257, and then the rest of it goes into the county savings account to pay that, well, not just that employees, but employees' claims.
I think that, doing that with this new plan, and if I'm not, it gives us a little discretion on the budget as just far as what we put in there in case, if she knows you're going to do a payout. So I think I'm okay with doing it this way, but everybody else look at this and see. You want to pass it on? So what she's put in Emma's budget is, now, where that would be a problem is if Emma came and said, I want the insurance. So, and before, we have always put it in there and we're covered, which makes me have a little heartburn. So how many?
Because I would cost the county that much.
Yeah. How many people are put in that way?
Just 2, I think. I think I done Dale and Emma, and I think they're the only ones. The rest of them are just regular employees, and they could leave at any time. So
Personally, I feel like I see what you were doing, and I see why, and it does make sense financially. I think that in the future, maybe we should talk
put
about
the whole thing in there.
Well, even just let us know so we know that you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Just to keep it on the record. I mean, no, I don't see Emma leaving, but she may end up wanting. I almost feel like it's better to put it in there.
Well, and I didn't even think about if you decided you wanted the insurance. So, and either one of you could decide that at any day, and then we would have to put more in there. So that makes sense to me too.
And maybe just to treat everybody the same.
Yeah, I think that would be the better way.
Just to keep it cleaner. And that way we don't end up in the hole if they do decide to do that, because they absolutely can.
Well, I think that we can, we have the budget prepared. It was 2 people. We can do an amendment later if we need to. And we'll make a note that in 2027, can't believe we're talking about that, we'll just make it.
And I think this was the first time I actually did it that way, thinking that.
I think last year it was that way too.
Did I do it last year too? Or this year?
Yes, this year.
Well.
So if we think that these numbers are actually correct based on what we're talking about now, then we don't need to change anything in this ordinance. Correct?
Correct.
Right. It's just a matter of if you want to make an amendment to attach this for, I guess, transparency. I read it into the record, but transparency purposes.
Yeah, definitely. And that way we know what we based it off of as well.
Anybody could get a copy of it. Yeah. Okay.
We're done with me.
I think. Sarah, do you have any more questions for Emma?
You need somebody to make a motion to add that to the list then?
Yes.
To amend the ordinance to include that?
Yes.
To add that?
Okay.
I will move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to amend this ordinance to add the attachment. Okay. Any discussion on amendment? All in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. So now we're back to the the ordinance as amended with the attachment. Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Mays. Yes. Nickie. Yes. Sarah. Yes. Paul.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
Page.
Yes.
Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
O 2025-46.
Next up, Nickie Brown.
Be-
Pretty big ordinance.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to establish the annual operating budget for the calendar year of 2026. I move that we adopt as written.
Second.
Motion is, the motion is second to adopt this ordinance. Open discussion.
Obviously, this is a very long ordinance, so I understand the reasoning for not reading the whole thing. There are a few things that I do want to call out. I'm proud of the budget that we put forward. Our anticipated revenue and carryover projections went up a little bit, so that helped. In this budget is the subsidy for the library. This will be, as he references the burning of the note, this will be the last year that we have that. So I'm proud that that subsidy will go away. The transfer from general reserve went up a little bit from 405 to 467. I think that is warranted based on, there's hours of tapes that talked about it in detail. But I do, in comparing the numbers from last year and today when we came in here, I did want to call out that the general reserve is over $2 million. So that's good. That's about where we wanted to be. So I think that with I'm hopeful that what the actual carryover will be, put us in a good spot on that, especially when we have one payment left on the library. This budget includes 4% raises across the board. So we're proud of that, worked hard to get that in there. And like Esther said, we would love to give them more, but I was proud that we could give 4%. So I think that we worked together, and I know that there were things that we didn't get to do. There's always things that we don't get to do that we wish we could. And we recognize that we wish we could, but we just have to put together a budget that we think is responsible for the county, and I think that this is. So I definitely propose that we approve as written.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Mays.
Yes.
Nickie.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
Page.
Yes.
Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
O 2025-47.
We have a different number this time. It was the same number for 2 years running, 54.
Yes, sir.
Nickie, you get to go again.
Being enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, appropriation ordinance to be entitled, an appropriation ordinance to increase revenues and appropriate $48,000 into the solid waste budget, Fund 3009-700-999. I move we approve as written.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt this ordinance. This is just like last month. The money's there. We just got the projections and the fund balance and the projections were just a little bit off because of the 90% threshold. Any discussion?
We had our projections were higher than what we anticipated. Our monies were higher than what we anticipated, yeah.
You can, of course, you're aware we can only appropriate 90%.
90%,
So
yes,
when we get to the end of the year, every year in solid waste, that 90% catches up. But plenty of money's in the bank to pay the bills.
Good deal.
Any more discussion? Roll call vote.
Mays.
Yes.
Nickie.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Robertson. Page. Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
O 2025-48.
Next up, Virgil, I bet you're glad we're doing this by title only.
Yes, sir. Be enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, the State of Arkansas, an ordinance to be entitled, an ordinance to transfer monies into and within personal services in the Sheriff's Office, Detention Center, and SRO budgets. I move to approve as written.
Second.
Motion and a second to adopt this ordinance. And what this is a bunch of moving around between line items. For those of you who would like to see it, it's just a whole bunch of line items moving from to a whole bunch of different line items of pre-approved and appropriated amounts. Any discussion? Roll call vote.
Mays.
Yes.
Nickie.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Robertson. Page. Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
O 2025-49.
Next up, Sarah, we have the additional ordinance.
Be it enacted by the Quorum Court of the County of Van Buren, State of Arkansas, an emergency ordinance to be entitled, an emergency ordinance to amend the Van Buren County personnel policy. Make a motion to approve as written.
A motion and a second to adopt this ordinance, and then for discussion, Sarah, I'll let you take off and tell exactly what this ordinance is about.
This is just, we were just talking about this previously, the employees that elect not to participate in the county's fully paid insurance programs. It just outlines the definition of that a little bit clearer for the purpose of transparency.
Will this have any impact on the previous ordinance that was just passed?
I don't think so.
So,
Any further discussion?
What was it needing to be more specific by, do you know of?
It was just very vague, the previous, I don't have it in front of me, the previous, it was just very vague on what the definition of, the biggest change,
What it was in section 1, and what it's going to is in section 2.
right, premium amount,
Okay.
outlining the premium amount.
In the first where it says the county provides health, dental, and vision coverage, should that say the county offers, or, because not everyone's required to take it, doesn't it say everybody participates?
but it's provided for every employee unless he or she chooses to opt out.
We don't say that, unless he or she.
It does on down below. It says on behalf of the employees who participate in the county's insurance program. Right for the emergency clause.
Good question.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Any more discussion? Roll call vote?
Mays.
Yes.
Nickie.
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Bradford.
Yes.
Robertson.
Yes.
Page.
Yes.
Lemmings.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes.
O 2025-50.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the transfers.
Is that emergency clause on that one? Did you do
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Oh, yes, thank you. This one had an emergency clause on it. I'd entertain a motion to acknowledge that emergency clause.
Second.
A motion and a second to acknowledge an emergency clause. This is so the changes take place immediately. Any further discussion? All in favor of acknowledging that emergency clause signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. I was about to forget to do that.
I've learned something in
Addition.
5 years.
There we go. It's not exactly imperative we do that, but I like to do that. Yeah. We have motion and a second to, already on the table, to approve the transfers. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the transfers signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any public comment? Motion to adjourn. Any opposed?